Time after time, you try to take this castle, but you will never succeed, Skeletor.
Call your champion.
What's up, everybody? I'm Simon from the Masters of the Universe Drawing Challenge, founded by Brian Stradley and the good folks from the Masters of the Universe Drawing Challenge. Incredible, talented artist. What a lot of fun we've had for about going on 2.5 years now with the Drawing Challenge. And of course, today was the big teaser trailer release of Masters of the Universe Revelations. Wow, incredible. So I checked it out. It prevented me from going to the supermarket. The groceries had to wait, and I didn't end up going. We'll get them tomorrow. But loved the trailer. Loved Kevin Smith's intro to the trailer. Love his passion for it. This is a great day for Masters of the Universe. Congratulations. It's a celebration. Amazing job, Kevin Smith and crew. To all the fans out there, this is a fun time to be a Masters of the Universe fan. So I'm sure you've probably seen it by now. If you haven't, the link is down below. Check it out before you watch this, and come back here and drop your comments. Let me know what you thought of it. I'm gonna play it here. I'm probably gonna be down in the corner while we watch it. I'm gonna pause it a little bit and just talk about what is in the trailer. I'll see what I can pick out, and there'll probably be a few things that I don't pick up on, a few things that I miss. Feel free to let me know what you see that I miss in it. So I'm gonna check it out right now. My initial reaction was basically just kind of jaw-dropped, and I was kind of speechless, honestly. I didn't cry, I wasn't overwhelmed with emotion, but I was impressed. I was very impressed. I probably swore once. I think it was when I saw Clamp Champ. I was like, holy shnikes. But I didn't say shnikes. And it's so cool to see Clamp Champ. I don't think we've ever seen him in, well, maybe in the newer series, but definitely not in the original series. So really cool to see Clamp Champ. And there's a ton of really cool stuff in this trailer. So here we go. I'm gonna start it, and we start off with Castle Grayskull.
Time after time, you try to take this castle, but you will never succeed, Skeletor.
All right, so right off the bat, Castle Grayskull looks great. Looks like they modeled it after the toy more than anything, which is really cool. I think in this opening shot of Castle Grayskull, the animation here to me looks like it's going to be part of the intro rather than part of an actual episode. I think when you see it in the episode, the animation, the artwork is going to look a little bit different. So if you notice that this looks a little bit funny, I think it's for the intro. It almost looks like it's going to be in 3D to me. I could definitely imagine this shot here being 3D. Castle looks great, looks like the toy, pretty true to the original Castle Grayskull from the Filmation series. No complaints there. We've got the lightning coming down, striking it. And the background here is incredible. And that's something I noticed all throughout the trailer. The artwork, the backgrounds are just mind-blowing. Incredible artwork, incredible detail, beautiful. And I hope that when they make the He-Man film, they can recreate this and make it look as beautiful in live action as Kevin Smith and crew have done here.
Castle, but you will never succeed, Skeletor.
Sorceress's voice, we assume. My wife pointed out, it's not the voice that we're used to, because the Sorceress's voice from Filmation was so unique and memorable. And it takes a bit of time to get used to change. It doesn't sound bad, but it's noticeably, not the Sorceress that we've heard so many times, but I'm sure she'll be great. Let's keep going.
Call your champion.
All right, call your champion. There's Skeletor. He looks pretty good. His nose is interesting. It's quite different from the original. Reminds me of the 200 series a little bit. So I think it's a pretty good mix of the old Filmation, the comic books, the other series. I think it works. It looks good. And of course, Mark Hamill doing the voice. How cool is that? Playing Luke Skywalker, one of the greatest heroes of all time, and now doing the voice of Skeletor, arguably maybe the #2 villain of all time after Darth Vader. Really, really cool. Okay, and now we see the foot of the horse. Probably initially we would think that this is Stridor, basically the good robotic horse of the heroic warriors. We often see him with Fisto. And you know, the evil warrior's horse was Night Stalker. So just seeing the hoof doesn't really tell us everything. It could be Stridor, could be Night Stalker. I think initially we think this is Adam or this is He-Man, but it could be a new character, or it could be, you know who? Could be Faker, right? Could be Faker coming up on Castle Grayskull. I think James Etok picked up on this as well, saying that Mattel beat him to the return of Faker. Very cool. Let's see. Okay, so that's pretty neat there. Skeletor is slamming his Havoc staff down on the ground, and it looks like the staff is morphing somehow. I can't really tell what it's morphing from. Probably Skeletor was in disguise and his Havoc staff was disguised as something else, and now he's revealing himself, and we see the classic, the notorious, infamous Havoc staff. Looks really cool. And now we cut to Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms running away from explosion here. And there he is, coming up on Trapjaw. That's a classic matchup, right? Classic Trapjaw versus Man-at-Arms. Happy to see that. And there are a few classic matchups that we see in this trailer. Now we've got Prince Adam or He-Man. Now this actually looks like Stridor here. This is obviously not Night Stalker or Faker's Steed. Some have called Trotbot. I think that was a custom. Really cool, Trotbot, a blue version of Stridor and Night Stalker. And the look here, okay, then we've got Zoar turning back into the Sorceress. The Sorceress looks great. She looks very true to the Filmation series. I don't think you could ask for more there with the Sorceress. Really cool. All right, now we've got Tila and Evelyn. I think they both look great. Some people have been complaining about their looks based on the toys or based on an image here or there. I think they look fantastic. Pretty true to the original toys and the original series. I like the skull detail on Evelyn's helmet, which I think we've seen before, but I don't think it was there in the original series. Tila looks like she's got her hair pulled back. Okay, gotta stop it here. We've got the Landshark being sliced in half by a laser and Clawfuls being blasted the heck out of there. How cool is that to see the Landshark? I gotta say it looks better here than it did in the original, and hopefully we'll get to see it in action a little bit before it gets blown up, and also hopefully they've got a backup Landshark, so that's not the end of it. Hopefully we get to see another one. Really, really cool. I think that's one of the fan favorite vehicles for Masters of the Universe. There, after 40 years, we've got Tila, Fisto, Clampchamp running into battle with the Royal Palace Guards of Eternos. Super cool. I really like the masks that they're wearing. Fisto looks really true to the figure and the original cartoon, a little bit more detail. I think it looks fantastic. So cool to see Clampchamp running there alongside of the both of them. Tila's looking pretty hard, pretty capable, and yeah, I love the design. I love the shot too of them just coming right at you. Excellent. Clampchamp's clamp, which is, we've seen a lot of variations of those. It's one of the harder things to draw from my experience in the drawing challenge. Not easy. This looks fantastic. I like that gun that the Palace Guards have as well. It looks like one of the guns that came in the weapons pack you used to be able to get. I think I had it in gray, maybe another one in blue. So that's pretty cool. I think they copied the original design of the toys on that one. All right, we got Clampchamp destroying something. I think that's probably one of Skeletor's hover robots. He's taken that one out with his Clampchamp, or his clamp. Okay. Oh my God, there we go. So I missed this on the first time I watched it. Scareglow, finally we're seeing Scareglow. He looks fantastic, terrifying, definitely a fan favorite. Yeah, super cool to see Scareglow here. Now we're on to Beastman. Beastman, love the design. I think it's my favorite Beastman I've ever seen. I love the I love the teeth here, the fangs. I love the spikes coming up, and he's just massive. Fantastic. Also very true to, you know, the original series. Now we're on to Merman. We've got Merman here. He looks awesome. Again, they're really sticking to the original designs that we know and love with a little bit of alteration, but you know, they're not doing anything that ruins the character. They look fantastic. Merman's got one of his henchmen there. I think we saw them in the quest for Tila's quest. We saw a couple of the other mer people or Mermanians. Looks pretty good. Looks like he's on a boat or a ship there. Okay, more great shots of those palace guards with those masks coming into battle. I assume those guys aren't all gonna make it. We gotta have some expendable people here, and I think our palace guards are gonna be the equivalent of our Star Trek red shirts. Let's keep going. Okay, so right there we saw Sorceress being held by somebody with He-Man's armor on, and they look blue. Looks to me like that's probably Faker, though it could be Skeletor. We know we've seen Skeletor with the power sword, getting the powers of Grayskull. Like one of the comics, I have it right back here actually. So like this amazing comic book artwork, you know, this could be Skeletor with the battle with He-Man's armor on. Could be, but the chin looks a little interesting. It doesn't really look like Skeletor or Faker, so I'm not sure who that is, but they've got the Sorceress held captive there. Going back to this was the Eternity War series, which I thought was incredible. I moved away before I finished collecting them, and so I had to start buying them in Italian, and I think I missed 1 or 2 episodes, so I'm gonna have to, I tried to track down the ones I missed, but they're out of print or hard to find, but eventually I'll get them all. Incredible series, and I heard that they worked with the Kevin Smith crew on this, which is a great sign, because that is, in my opinion, one of the best He-Man related materials ever. It's an awesome, awesome comic book series. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Let's continue. All right, here we've got Adam calling down the power of Grayskull while Cringer stands by. Looks like he's in the royal palace, in the throne room, and the king and the queen are noticeably absent, which might indicate that they have either been imprisoned, they've gone off to battle, or my guess is that at this point in the story, we are going to learn that they've passed on somehow between the He-Man we knew before and this series that's probably a year or 2 or a few years later. So I'm going to assume maybe the king and queen are gone, or they've been captured by Skeletor, the evil Mark Hamill.
I have the power!
All right, I have the power, and now we see, again, could be Adam, could be Faker, taking off his cloak, and I picked up on this. Tell me if you agree or disagree, but it looks like what Prince Adam wore when he traveled back to Preternia and had to go in disguise. I actually really like that design, and in a story that I was writing as a He-Man origin story, I had Prince Adam traveling into the Dark Hemisphere wearing that same kind of disguise. So I like that they went with that, whether that was intentional or just coincidence.
I have the power!
Sounds great with the I have the power. Sounds really good. And looking at the power sword, this looks remarkably like the little scale model power sword that they released recently. I think you could get one that was about this big and another bigger one. I think eventually they're going to make a life-size power sword. This one looks just like it. I don't know if that's related somehow or just a coincidence, but power sword looks good. It looks a little bit thinner than the original series power sword, but looks good. I wasn't a fan of those big mechanical looking power swords in some of the other series, so I'm really glad they stayed pretty true to the original. So we've got He-Man's armor, we've got the transition, really cool effect. You know, the original was such amazing artwork that is underappreciated in that transition scene where He-Man and Battle Cat transform. That was incredible animation. And I like that they've done something a little bit different. This is like, He-Man looks like he's glowing from the inside. They've given us something different, but still feels like the old one, with kind of a new energy that can excite us once again. And of course we've got they didn't go with the Iron Cross, they went with the H, which is, we saw on the Thunder Punch He-Man, and maybe one or two other variations of He-Man. I think it's a pretty good choice if you're not gonna go with the cross. You know, you're gonna have people complain if you do, complain if you don't, so I can understand why they had to avoid that. And I think this is a nice alternative. I'm pretty happy with that. I always liked the cross that came on the Power Gear, like the Stilt Stalkers. No, I don't think they were Power Gear. Stilt Stalkers, the Jet Sled, came with that blue armor with the red cross on it that was a little bit different than He-Man's traditional cross. The He-Man I grew up with, the toy I had was the Battle Armor He-Man, and I always had that blue armor that came with the Stilt Stalkers on him. I thought that blue looked awesome with the red, kind of like Superman, I guess. Yeah, so this looks pretty cool. Let's keep going. All right, so there we quickly saw He-Man throwing off his cloak, and if you notice the horse, it looks blue in the back, which could be Night Stalker or Trotbot or some evil warrior's horse, and not Stridor. So this could be Faker, but at the same time could just be the lighting. Maybe that's Stridor with some blue magical light flashing on him, so who knows. Okay, now we've got Skeletor fighting. It looks like it's probably somewhere within the Royal Palace, I'm guessing. It looks like it's in a domed room, like garden, some type of a courtyard. And he's opening portals and fighting He-Man. We see Evelyn and Tila continue their battle. Now we see Battle Cat for the first time in the trailer. How epic is this? How epic is this? He-Man slamming his fist down on the ground, creating a ripple effect, blowing away Skeletor's minions. Really cool to see these guys, these minions of Skeletors. I forget what they're called. I think they were in some of the comics, the mini comics. I don't know if they ever appeared in the Filmation series. Let me know what they're called, I forget. We talked about this in the drawing challenge a couple of months ago, and we'll probably feature them one day. But yeah, very cool, because Skeletor needs some exposable, if I'm saying that correctly, exposable minions as well to kind of, we've got the Royal Guards, expendable, we need Skeletor's expendable minions. That word you keep saying, I do not think it means what you think it means. Let's keep going. All right, He-Man on Battle Cat, bursting out of there. It looks like they're bursting out of the palace. Fantastic. Battle Cat looks so much like the toy, and you know, the design is very, very bang on to the original. So that's a fantastic image. Really, really cool to see that. So nice. I didn't have this vehicle. I didn't have the toy growing up. I think this is called Bashasaurus. Bashasaurus. I don't think I've ever seen it in an animated series before. I don't know if it was in Filmation or not. It looks like Beastman's coming at He-Man with the Bashasaurus. In this shot, you can see how the power sword is fit in the back of He-Man's armor, which is really neat. The toy didn't really have a spot for the sword that worked as well as that. You'd have to kind of put it between the armor and He-Man's back. I like the way they've done this. It's pretty cool. It doesn't hide the sword. So He-Man's making short work of the Bashasaurus and Beastman. I can only imagine that Beastman was using the Bashasaurus to try to bash down the drawbridge of Castle Grayskull. He-Man looks like he's having fun there, taking care of Beastman. That's cool. It's always nice when you see your hero having fun. Always reminds me of Christopher Reeve. Looks like he was having a blast playing Superman. Errol Flynn is Robin Hood, one of my favorites growing up. Well, those two, Robin Hood, Superman. Errol Flynn always looked like he was having the time of his life playing Robin Hood. And unfortunately, his Adventures of Robin Hood wasn't really taken seriously enough while he was alive. And I don't think he got the respect and the appreciation he deserved for that. I think people came to appreciate it later. But yeah, really cool to see He-Man look like he's smiling and having fun a little bit. You want to see that in your heroes. We don't want it to be too serious. Okay, there we saw Whiplash really quickly. He looks, again, very true to what we know of Whiplash. He's taken on Tila. Now we're on to Roboto. Epic, super epic here. Looks like Thor, right? He's got his, he's got some type of tool in his arm that looks like a big hammer. And yeah, kind of reminiscent of Thor. He's bashing something. He's glowing here. I know people are going to say they hope that they see his heart. He doesn't look too transparent, so we might not see his heart in there, but that would be cool if they worked it in. All right, then we got a whole army of Rotons coming in. I don't remember Rotons much in Filmation, but definitely the toy was popular. We had Rotons in some of the classic artwork. There's a great poster of Roboto with some Rotons coming down, and probably in the mini comics as well. There's a whole fleet of Rotons coming in. So again, these will probably be expendable vehicles that the good guys can blast away. Tila versus Evelyn some more. Looks great. We've got a lot of skulls in the background there, so that could be, I'm guessing that's inside Castle Grayskull. Could be Snake Mountain or somewhere else, but I'm guessing that at this point the evil warriors have entered Castle Grayskull, and this is kind of the last stand for the heroic warriors. And based on the god Skeletor we've seen, I'm going to guess the evil warriors win this one. Okay, now we've got the Sorceress. Okay, now we got Trapjaw. No, sorry, we've got Triclops. Interesting design of Triclops. I think he looks great. Triclops is probably one of the more difficult characters to decide how to treat him. He's not as obvious as a lot of the other characters. He's kind of quiet. He doesn't have as much of a personality. They've given him some longer hair. He's smiling a little bit. Looks like he's going to have a little bit more personality in this one. He actually looks like he could be He-Man or Prince Adam in disguise. I don't think he is. I think this is Triclops, but yeah, he looks like he's got a little bit more of a personality in this one, so that's cool. His visor, whatever you want to call it, looks great. Again, pretty true to the original. I missed what he was on. It might have been on a sky sled, which would be cool. I've got all these demon skull faces coming at Orko. I think Orko looks pretty good. People have been, the eyes have been a little bit controversial. People either like him or love him or hate him. I think he looks pretty good here. I'm interested to hear his voice. That'll be really interesting to see how Orko sounds. But here, looks like he's, Orko usually messes up his magic. It looks like here he's actually, he's doing a pretty good job. So good work there, Orko.
I need a hero!
All right, now we've got He-Man taking on Skeletor. They're in that domed area that looks like some type of garden in the palace. And we got Skeletor using his magic, opening up portals, and I love this giant fist that's coming out of a portal. Is that a giant? Is that a giant from another dimension, or is that Skeletor somehow? You see, he's got this little portal around his arm, and then there's a giant portal. Is that him putting his fist through a little portal that makes it gigantic through the bigger portal? What an interesting idea if that's what it is. I think it might be. And I think He-Man is fending it off. somebody talked about, somebody asked once, how strong is He-Man? And the best answer I heard was that He-Man is always as strong as he needs to be. So that means if he's lifting, let's say he's lifting a car, he's gonna lift up a car and he's gonna have a little struggle doing it, but he'll be just strong enough to do it. If he's lifting up a mountain, it's gonna be the same thing. He's gonna be able to do it, but he's gonna be just able to do it. So always as strong as he needs to be. Yeah, I think that's Skeletor's fist coming out of that portal. Awesome. All right, July 23rd on Netflix. So there we go. I'll stop it there so I don't go on too long, but you know, this is a time to celebrate being a Masters of the Universe fan. Awesome work, Kevin Smith and crew, and really excited for all you Masters of the Universe fans who've stuck around all these years waiting for something great. I don't think we could ask for much more than this. Looks fantastic, and can't wait for July 23rd. Last year we had the new Transformers, came out on my birthday, July 30th, and I just kind of silently asked, you know, could the new He-Man please come out just before July 30th for my birthday? And it did, July 23rd. So another great birthday present this year. I'm gonna have to maybe take the day off work on July 23rd. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I missed. Yeah, hope everyone is excited about this. I sure am. See you next time.